So I don't particularly care for this show, The Middle, but my mom likes it a lot, so I have watched it. I had to watch it. There's Thanksgiving special. Those people, now, if you know anything about that show, they're flawed, okay? They're flawed human beings, but they're usually generally good human beings. What possible justification could they come up with? And how could they have been so selfish, so unbelievably selfish, as to steal their neighbor's entire Thanksgiving dinner? The neighbor's oven was on the fritz, so they cooked their dinner at the middle, the family's, their place, and it was cooked ahead of time or whatnot. And it ends with those people, they go to have Thanksgiving dinner and it's all gone. They'd skimmed off the bottom of like a yam, a delicious yam casserole, and it has the crunchy stuff. So you see in the middle of the show where I don't know the friggin' names. But anyway, the wife is saying, oh, you got to get it from the bottom. So you lift up the crunchy layer and you get it from the bottom, and no one will know. Well, in the end, they took so much. They even took the entire fucking turkey. They left these people foodless on Thanksgiving Day. What possible? Like, why would the writers have even written something like that? Good. Even if I liked a show and the characters do something that selfish, that disgustingly selfish, I mean, they deserve to have Axel not come there for Thanksgiving. They deserved that. It's karma. You know? I don't feel bad for them. I can't understand, like, and if that character is going to remain on the show, the next door neighbor, she's been on the show for years, she's going to confront them. Like, how could you have done that to us? And what could they possibly say? The whole family did it. You see them getting something with a straw, some kind of pirate, and they're trying to do everything to make it look like it's still there. But the people are going to know that it's not there on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, it's sickening. The whole family did it. Even Sue, who's supposed to be such a goody two-shoes, you know? They all did it. Brick, Sue, they all did it. All except Axel, because he wasn't there. And don't say, oh, it's just a fictional show, because I remember, I didn't do this, but I remember all the way back in my 20s, there were jokes that around the water cooler, you'd go to work, and people would be discussing shows around the water cooler, okay? People used to discuss Seinfeld all the time. You expect them to be just utterly selfish. You don't expect the people in the middle to steal their neighbor's turkey dinner. It's Thanksgiving. You left them with meal-less. And they live on the same street. They should march right over there. And the next episode I'd say, what the fuck? Why did you do that? How could you have done that to us? And they have no excuse, no explanation, nothing. I wouldn't even be friends with them anymore if I was that neighbor. That is so sick what they did. It is so sick. I don't know that I've ever seen any stupid sitcom where someone was that selfish. Even on Seinfeld, I can't imagine that. Well, I guess on Seinfeld, yeah, but you don't expect this. This is a family, the middle, whatever their names are. And they did that. I can't imagine why writers would come up with that. Why would they would do that? Why would they want this family to steal their neighbor's entire Thanksgiving dinner? The family sitting down to dinner and praising God and saying thank you to that family, their last name, thank you, they let us use their oven, and then they go, the family, which is like 2 or 3 kids and the parents, so there's 4 or 5 people, and they're horrified. They go and reach for that they left some of the yams, but you go and reach for it, and it's all air because they had been stealing yams from underneath, and they have no shame. what's-her-face even said, yeah, it's going to be a good turkey dinner. They deserve to not have their son come. They deserve to have to eat at 8. They're sick. They make me ill. And then she's like, oh, it's going to be a good turkey dinner. I skimmed some of the so-and-so's yams. And how do you, sick. How do these writers expect us to have any compassion whatsoever for a fucking family that would do that? And if kids watch this, what are they teaching kids? I'm appalled. Seriously, I'm appalled that they would steal their neighbor's entire fucking Thanksgiving dinner. Unreal. The whole family did it. You watch them. You watch them. I saw Sue and Brick with a straw, and it has to be one of those neighbors' things. They're having it because you don't eat pie with a straw, whatever it was, with a straw on the side so they can get it from the bottom and not mess it up. So-and-so and the husband did it from the crust, and she's even like, oh, does this taste better just because it's naughty? It's because we're doing something wrong? And he's like, the husband's like, no, it tastes because it's not oh my God, but they stole the entire dinner. These people have to sit down at Thanksgiving dinner and have nothing, absolutely nothing. What kind of fucking message does that send out? Usually they should be uplifting about good. The people in the middle did bad. They did really, really selfish, you know? And they're supposed to be basically good people. They're supposed to be good people. I've watched this show enough to know that even if they sometimes learn their lessons, but how could they have done that to their neighbors? And the thing is, are the neighbors not going to confront them in a subsequent episode and say, how could you have done that to us? And what could they possibly give for a reason? Oh, I'm sorry, temptation, forgive me. And apparently these people are religious, so they'll forgive them because it's just a TV show, but it's just sick. I watched another episode about a year ago where she was I think she badmouthed the mom to the son and then denied it and lied and went up and got caught, and in the end she apologized. But this just takes the cake. This takes the cake of anything I've ever seen in a sitcom. I don't know why writers would come up with that. I don't know why writers would come up with that. I don't know if they keep that character in. I mean, you can't justify what you did. There is no justification. And saying sorry doesn't cut it. You left your neighbors, your friends, without a Thanksgiving dinner. It's sick. An entire Thanksgiving dinner is gone. They even lifted up the skin of the turkey carcass. So she must have. We didn't see her cook the turkey there, but obviously the thing is she wound up cooking everything there because the oven wasn't working, and there was no turkey there. There was no turkey. There was none. There was only some of that, just a small amount of that yam thing, and then there were probably other things. The whole point is they stole their entire turkey dinner, and they have no remorse. They don't fucking care that they did that. I'm appalled. And again, I don't care if you say, oh, it's just a TV show. People talk about TV characters all the time. They've done it my entire life. They would probably do it before I was born, okay? People talk about things that happen on TV shows. They talk about it online. They talk about it. I don't care. I cannot believe, I could believe it, that they would do that. I didn't like it when they were first stealing some of that, but if they stole a little bit, she's like, oh, you just have to get it around the edges. You just have to have a little bit, but they took more and more, and then it was practically all gone. But to have the turkey be entirely gone, that's just sick. How could they live with themselves doing that to their neighbors? It's just sickening. And there can be no justification, no excuse. That's one of those things in life. There is nothing they could say to say why they did it. You understand? There is nothing. Nothing. So I don't know why the writers would write something like that. I really don't. But I don't like them now. They're scum to me that they would do that to their neighbors, and the whole family did it, including Brick and Sue. They all did it. And if it's never addressed again, like in a subsequent episode, then that's even worse. It's worse. If I told Joe about this, told whatever, because now he's, in that world, like when I watch State of Mind, and in that world, like Alex Jones was saying that when you go in front of the TV, it's like putting yourself in front of the barrel of a gun. We have all the commercials or whatnot, but usually sitcoms will try to have a good message. A good message is not to steal Thanksgiving of all things, to steal your neighbor's entire Thanksgiving dinner. It's sickening. I just can't believe the writers wrote that about these people who are flawed, but generally have been good people in my experience of watching these shows. And again, this is not a show I regularly watch, but I'm just sickened. Sickened. I had to get that off my chest. And I'm sure if my mom was here and we've been watching that show, she would be as appalled as me. It's just so wrong. Why would the writers want this basically flawed but good family, the characters to do something that despicable? That's selfish. That just, ugh. I don't understand why they would have them do that. The fuck? Well, I was going to do nothing today. I was going to be alone today, but neighbor whose husband's away invited me to share Thanksgiving with her at her house. I didn't wind up going out last night. I can go out anytime, and it was nice that she invited me to do that. After getting both those letters from me, I didn't know she'd get that first one. I was really upset and saying I wasn't going to anything. I shouldn't have moved that photographer away. Shouldn't I stop being influences again? It doesn't matter. Such a loser. Can't go out unless I have to go up by myself. I don't know when I've ever been more upset in my life at a fictional character as I am at those. Like I said, they're usually good people, flawed, definitely, as everyone's flawed, you know what I mean? But they're and they stole their neighbor's entire turkey dinner. It was bad enough they were picking at it, but they, in the end, we see they stole the entire thing. And I'm wondering if it's ever going to be addressed. I'm wondering if they're going to have to pay for what they, pay in just feeling like total fucking shit. I'm glad Axel snubbed them. he's obsessed over his girlfriend April because she's stupid. April's not the bright, not even, she's just, they ever do this, that, I've never even known anyone to be that stupid. But anyway, how they have her be. I guess there are people like that. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, they can't control their son, who's an adult, you know. He's in college. They can't control who he loves or has as his girlfriend and wife or anything else, you know. So they got what they deserved. They got what they deserved. But that's still not enough. They need to just, I want to see, and I don't even know if the writers will do it. I don't know if they just pretend it never happened. It's just sick. Make amends or something like that. I don't know how they could do it. I just don't know how they could do something like that. They'll probably just pass the buck. She'll probably be like to her neighbor. She's like, oh, I don't know, but no, they can they can't justify it. You can't. It's just sick. I can't believe that they did that to their neighbors. Those poor people, they go and sit down to a wonderful turkey dinner because their mom's a really good cook. And that middle woman, she's not. She talked about powdered baked potatoes or some powdered potatoes, some stupid shit. She doesn't cook, apparently. She had something in her oven that was a coat or a blanket, you know. And the neighbor wanted to use her oven. I know this woman's not her good friend. She's probably too perfect. It's one of those fake things anyway, but so what? You don't steal. They have kids, too. You stole their fucking Thanksgiving dinner. They sit down and have nothing to eat. I mean, it's just sick. It's not a message for Thanksgiving. It's just sickening. It certainly wasn't funny. I certainly didn't think it was funny at all. But I wouldn't be the type who would think that was funny. I think it's sick. I don't even care what happens to these characters now. I'm pissed that they would do that to that family. And if there's someone that loves that show, I go online and type, like, how can they do that? There's even people who love the show, love those characters. What possible justification could they come up with that they would steal their neighbor's entire turkey dinner and leave them without anything to sit down and have nothing? Sick. Baxter doesn't even forgive them. They make me ill now, all of them. They do. I think they're scum now. I think the writers writing that are scum too. You expect scummy people to do scummy things. You don't expect these people, you know, to steal their neighbor's entire turkey dinner. Like I said, there are things sitcom characters do sometimes, and then they're sorry, and they learn the lesson by the end of the show. I mean, If I told Joe about that, he'd be appalled. He'd be like, yeah, that's the message they're sending out, Laura. It's sick. It's okay to do that to your neighbors, that it's somehow funny to pull one over. Well, they're going to confront them, and let's see if the writers have them confront them, or if they're just going to sweep it on the right and pretend it never happened. It's just sick. I know I can't be the only one who watched what's supposed to be generally a wholesome show. I'm sure people watch it with their fucking kids and was absolutely sickened by what those people did to their neighbors. No, I don't give a shit that they don't like the son, the brother, that none of them like his new girlfriend, That happens in families all the time. I'm wondering if it's ever happened in real life what those assholes did to their neighbors. Who they pretend are friends. You don't do that to someone who's your friend. You don't do that even just to acquaintances. You don't do that, period. It's just a sick, selfish thing to do. So I have to say, it left a bad, bad taste in my mouth. That the writers would have these generally bumbling, flawed, but generally good people do something so unbelievably fucking selfish. Whole family did it. And there's no justification you can come up with, no excuse, none. None, 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 none. No excuse whatsoever.